on this topic. I just want to share this. Diana Rossini on her podcast dropped this. So we all know JJ McCarthy is struggling. He's got the lowest passer rating in the NFL for a starting quarterback, like by a lot. He's last in completion percentage, TD to interception ratio, passer rating among 33 qualified quarterbacks. No reason to bury the kid, but he's not great at all. But she said, there's an interesting line here. But more than that, it's the vibes around him all season have been weird. From how he was really doing in camp, it was like they were hiding or suppressing information, to the fact that Carson Wentz, we discovered, was actually trying to play through a torn labrum before finally going on IR. And then suddenly JJ McCarthy was healthy enough to play once again. It does feel weird. And now I've said, play him until the end of the season. There's no reason to not play him. But this does, Diana Rossini's opinion here does validate and double down on a truth. If he was a cornerback, a wide receiver, a weak side linebacker, or a safety, I wouldn't care as much about his slow start. I would be willing to be more patient. But the reason I'm so brutal on Johnny Manziel or Baker Mayfield or Cam Newton or a JJ McCarthy is quarterback is the one position that everybody relies on, including the coach, to eat. In the NBA, over my lifetime, it's become almost positionless. I mean, what is LeBron? Whatever they need that night. Shooter, distributor, 3, 4. But even parents with their children will name a specific child to be executor of the will. They feel he or she's better with money, assets, and responsibility. Even a parent has a hierarchy in the will for their own kids. And that's the reality of pro football. College too, but more pro football. Quarterbacks have to be more mature, faster. And the weird thing doesn't play. And for the record, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake May are durable. And nobody wants to hear this, and it sounds unfair. But JJ McCarthy could have 27 starts already, and he's got 5.
Okay, well, he tore his meniscus, something that lots of people do. To start talking about JJ McCarthy being a complete bust and all of this, first off, JJ McCarthy's not weird. So he's like saying that like weird doesn't fly or that you got to be mature. JJ McCarthy is incredibly mature. And there's nothing weird about him. He doesn't have these like weird quirks or these things where you're kind of like, eh. That's what people said about Caleb. That's what people said about Baker. That's what people said about Johnny Manziel. They're not saying that about JJ McCarthy right now. And things were always really, really, really intense when JJ McCarthy was going to enter this team and be the starter because of what this team accomplished last season. That was always the take that people tried to tiptoe around. That moving on from Sam Darnold was a true risk. A true risk. And some people wanted to have you believe that it wasn't. And so there was this, no, JJ's going to be great. It's fine. He's going to hit the ground running. And they didn't want to leave room for a rookie quarterback to be a rookie quarterback. And you know, it's an incredibly difficult situation. It's an incredibly difficult situation. And the problem is that he was injured. He was just simply injured. And so he could not play. He could not practice. He could not grow and develop. Like I showed you in that one clip with Dan Orlovsky talking about his mechanics and some of his lower body injuries. If we want to talk about his durability and Caleb and Bo and Drake May, that means nothing to me right now. Trying to guess how durable or not durable JJ McCarthy is in year 1.6 right now of his career means absolutely positively nothing to me. Nothing to me, nothing to me, nothing to me, nothing to me, nothing to me. And let's stop pretending like that's now part of the conversation of how good or not good JJ McCarthy is. That's just absurd. It really is. That's nonsense. And Colin knows better too, because he also had the take that Sam Darnold was going to start, that JJ McCarthy was going to sit for the year when JJ was healthy. That's what my take was too. I kept saying, I think JJ is going to sit and Sam Darnold is going to start. And then, the football gods just chose for us. But again, you talk about Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked downright awful in his beginning starts. He looked downright awful. Awful. And he had a great coach. He had a great O-line. He had good enough receivers. He had a great defense. He had a coach way more experienced than Kevin O'Connell. Super Bowl winning coach. Coach who coached Drew Brees. So we still just gotta chill, man. We still just gotta chill. It's okay to have patience. I do believe that, JJ McCarthy needs to be developed. That JJ McCarthy is not 100% ready right now. And that now he's going through these rookie growing pains. I think that's totally fair. But here's the thing, because this is what they're trying to imply, that they really wanted Carson Wentz to start and not JJ. And I think that's fair and understandable. And yet Carson Wentz was still getting walloped. He was getting lit up. Receivers dropping passes, O-line crashing and burning, minimal run support. And it's like, he couldn't succeed. And again, that's when I showed you that clip of Orlovsky saying, I don't know what quarterback they put in this situation. I don't think any quarterback is going to succeed right now. And then there you go. But I mean, it's kind of interesting because we saw Caleb Williams struggle significantly last season. And I know that the defense is, well, he had bad coaching and Caleb has, and JJ has better coaching. And that is fair. Absolutely, positively. That is 100% fair. But what people would say is, like, I still see some of the juice. Some of those moments where Caleb was, like, coming from behind or, fourth quarter moments and whatnot. And we've seen those exact same things with JJ. And now, depending on what day you catch some of these guys talking about Caleb, they either still say, I don't see it, or they're like, this is going to work. This is great. And it's like, well, you said a lot of one thing and you said a lot of the other, so who knows? But I mean, I haven't even seen no, I'll just leave it here. It's okay to have patience. Let's just wait. Let's, we want to say we don't want to bury him, but then we want to say, he's probably a bust. It's like, well, I want to start putting him in the category of Johnny Manziel. And it's like, well, I don't know if that's entirely fair right now either. So, yeah, just a weird situation. I'm excited for this weekend to see what he looks like. I'm also excited to see, what does Kevin O'Connell do to support JJ? What does he do to make things easier for JJ? That is what I want to see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about JJ McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings? Do you think it's too early to call JJ a complete bust in his first 5-6 starts of his entire career? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.